Welcome to my Northern Open Tournament rookie walkthrough video. My name is Matthew, and in this video I will walk you through the shots I will use and some of the possible alternatives. This is a guide and is not meant as the absolute solution, but more like a starting place to begin your note-taking process and help you prepare for the tournament. Play according to your clubs, balls, and skill level. Please remember that this walkthrough does not feature the actual tournament wind we will see, as that will only be known once the tournament begins. Let's get into it. Hole 1 is a par 4 from the Maple Bay course. I played the drive at 10% downhill with my extra mile and a basic ball. There is a rough bump to the green when approaching from the left side fairway, but I usually only play that from the second tee. Here on this example, I use 4 bars of topspin and bounce over the right bunker. However, you can play between them or over the left bunker, whatever gets you down near the end of the first fairway without going over. We can certainly be more aggressive with the drive according to your tastes, your skills and experience. But nonetheless, we're going to leave ourselves in short iron range. To play the second shot, bring your favorite short iron. And for me, that's this level 1 Thorn. I played the shot at 15% downhill, a couple of bars of backspin. With this non-existent ball guide, it was a bit more challenging to set up than would be, a club with a bit more to work with. Do your best to find a consistent landing position and aim it at the pin. With a clean execution, this one should be a very regular drop come the weekend round of the tournament. I have always played hole number 2 as a rough bump. In this example, with my lower level clubs, I need to bring a power 3 ball and a Goliath just to reach. But whatever ball and long iron combo gets you to this landing position, you'll play the same. I add about 1 3/4 bars of topspin. Now in a tailwind, you might want to use a little bit less and a tiny amount of right spin that isn't exactly necessary. Adjust a shot for 15% downhill elevation, and I'm fairly certain that we won't have a direct headwind in the tourney, so luckily here this wind was very slight and I was able to compensate with a minor amount of overpower. Nonetheless, this is a great opportunity for an extra drop. Securing an albatross on hole number 3 will go a long way towards securing a banner in the Northern Open. I played this hole with an extra mile and a power 3 ball such as a Titan. The goal of the drive is to get to the end of this small kidney-shaped fairway so that we can easily clear the large body of water with our second shot. I used 2 bars of topspin here and half a bar of right spin to achieve the desired result with a 10% downhill adjustment. Once again, it is unlikely to see this kind of headwind on a par 5 in rookie, but this is the first step towards getting that coveted albatross. I brought a sniper here for the second shot, but you certainly can use a Viper to achieve the same result. I would be, recommending basically to play a little to the right of that green side bunker, but I wanted to minimize the side spin I use and approach the hole directly. Notice that my red ring just touches the bunker and my second bounce is just on the fringe of the green. I add a couple ticks of backspin to help control the rollout and adjust my shot for 10% downhill elevation. I guarantee that you will absolutely see players driving the green in this tournament on hole number 4. However, with an extra mile level 5 and a power 3 ball, it felt more sensible to me to play up the left side fairway and set myself up for a short iron approach to the pin. I used 1 bar of topspin here and a half a bar of right spin. Yet, just a couple bars of topspin here should be just fine. Make sure, adjust at 10% downhill elevation, and being a bit short on this drive will actually leave a slightly better angle of approach for the second shot. So keep that in mind. This isn't necessarily somewhere that you need excessive distance. Yet, as you'll see, this setup will also play out just fine. I set up the second shot with the left side of the yellow ring just touching the rough, and then I simply adjusted the spin to get the ball guide to the hole. Sadly with this underdeveloped ball guide, I did underestimate the amount of room that I needed for a rollout and should have actually added at least one more bar of backspin. Fortunately though, luck was on our side this time, and we managed to secure that all-important eagle. For some reason, hole 5 and I have never been friends. I'll show you the two main ways I play this hole. Firstly, we try a reasonably direct approach to the pin with a wood club such as a sniper or a viper. The idea is that with the blue ring close to the rough on the left, there is a mythical funnel somewhere near the front right of the green. Sadly, without a sniper 7 or better, it's basically a guessing game. So I literally used 0 spin and set up with the second bounce near the fringe and hope for the best. You can play closer to the pin with more backspin, but the landing positions are so uneven it's very difficult to find any sort of consistency for this shot. Here's a route that I learned about for the first time in the last tournament from my friend Christian Theory over at Toasted Golf Clash on YouTube. And it's a rough bump play, which is my favorite way to play this hole, but it isn't without risk. Start with your sniper and a katana, add 3 bars of topspin and 3 left spin. A kingmaker here is nice to reduce the wind, but definitely not necessary. Push up your adjustment and not pull just because of that big rock. And promise me one thing, okay? Don't hit great left here. If you do, you'll almost always still have a chip shot from the fairway, but let's not go there, okay? Adjust the shot at 25% downhill elevation and favor the right edge of the hole. Hole number 6 is one that many people will play to the left with lots of topspin and some overpower. But I messed it up enough times that I moved to the right for a more consistent shot setup. You see me here with a quarterback and a Titan ball, but I do like to play here with a Zerk, especially for the second shot. I add maximum topspin and maximum right spin. Instead of being in full minimum here, I wish I'd pushed up my landing position so that my ball guide is touching that rough just near the tree directly ahead. Adjust for wind and use at least a full ball of right curl here, or even just a little more. Close, but a beautiful drive. So then, if you did bring a ball with more power, then you'll likely reach this second shot landing position very nicely with a Viper or a higher level sniper. For the rest of us, bring your big dog so that you can get to the green in 2. I tried 2 bars of topspin and 10% downhill with this underdeveloped ball guide. And in the future, I would play with only 1 bar of topspin from this same position, a little bit far back from the second last fairway. Nonetheless, with careful play here, this is a pretty darn easy eagle, but a challenging albatross. Once you get this one dialed in, you're going to have an incredible advantage over the field. For hole number 7, I only see one good piece of advice for my friends trying to win a tournament. Go for the green. I set up this shot with my extra mile 6 and a berserker ball. Add 4.5 bars of topspin and 1 of left spin. When stretched out to max, I like my ball guide to just cut into the middle fairway rough by a ring or two. Less for lower winds and a little more for higher in this left to right tailwind. Adjust for the wind at 10% downhill and then push back to max. Use maximum over power, and if you must hit great, and I know you won't, you're going to hit perfect, favor great left, as this will generally still leave you a safe chip shot where, great right. Now, that could technically spell trouble. I have done a little bit of digging in the sand and the bunker to the right there, so we're going to hit perfect on this beautiful drive. Bring your favorite sand wedge just in case, but I think the risk versus reward for me here on hole 7 is absolutely worth it. I played the wedge at 0% elevation per my standard routine. I would normally use the 20% Endbringer setup as per Mr. Jared, but I only have a Firefly on this account, so do the best with what you have. I think that's the best lesson of all. Here on hole number 8, I'll first show you the traditional route, which is basically set up to the left of the central bunker with a long iron, such as your backbone. You could use a Grim Reaper here if you like, and any ball, but likely at least a navigator in the tourney. Add 1 bar of backspin and use the slope of the landing position there to line your ball guide toward the hole. Due to the lack of side spin here with the basic ball, I do use some right curl to reach my target, but spin is much easier to consistently replicate than curl. A spicy alternative to the bounce over is to play the rough bump. I would recommend that we play here with your long iron with the most accuracy and ball guide, such as a Grizzly or Backbone. However, as you see, the Goliath can get the job done too. The basic ball is for demonstration purposes, but I would recommend officially at least a Navigator here. I adjusted for 20% downhill at maximum club distance. I didn't use any spin, but as you see, a tick of top spin and roughly half a bar of left spin from this position, I think would be absolutely perfect. Hole 9 is the final hole of the tournament, which has a drive that benefits greatly from precision. Aim to get as close to the top of the right fairway as possible. Using my extra mile and a Navigator ball, I add 3 topspin and 2 1/4 left spin. Don't be afraid to bring a ball with more power for the second shot, especially if you play the drive a bit more conservatively. I adjust here at 0% elevation. Now, it's definitely worth considering using a club such as the Thor's Hammer, a low-level APOC, or even a rock or quarterback if you think you can get down to the end of this fairway with less risk, but maintaining at least the minimum distance here that we have of this drive, 333 yards. So of course, from this 333-yard drive, I am able to reach over to the second fairway here with my Viper club. I opted to play the shot a little more safely to the right side of the green due to not being, too comfortable with the amount of reach on this shot and still trying to maintain that 2 bars of backspin. I mean, this was a long time ago. I probably should have gone half a bar of backspin and maybe been able to go right at the pin, but I just wanted to make sure to use enough backspin to slow it down and not roll through the green. This is where a Titan on this hole will make it absolutely much easier and possible to comfortably approach the pin directly for a really awesome chance at a finishing round albatross. Good luck to everybody in the Northern Open tournament. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in to my rookie walkthrough for the Northern Open tournament. If you have any comments or feedback, please leave them in the comment section below and I'll respond as soon as I can. Also, please remember to subscribe now to join Erelic Gaming and not miss out on any of my future content. Good luck.